Test, test. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Test, test. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Word. Ooh, got a like already. Hell yeah. The Janjo abides. Two likes. Oh boy. I feel like the belle of the ball. The ball. Yeah, we got 4 viewers. Who wants to be the first person to talk? Yo, Thomas Archer, what's up? First person in the stream. Congratulations. Can't offer any prizes other than self-respect. We'll let the stream marinate for a little before we get started. Just have a little chill out sesh. Three likes. Holy smokes. We're already like jumping in that. Can we get to 5 likes in the first 5 minutes? Is that possible? I don't know if it's possible. It might be possible to get 5 likes in 5 minutes. I know I'm asking for a lot, but just saying. For all those who noticed, my background's a little bit slightly different from the last time. I have a bed now. Sleep in a bed now. I can afford a bed. Got my TV up in the wall. It's not just like everything on the floor anymore. It's very exciting. This is a new day. 4 likes. We got 4 likes within the first 4 minutes. I believe we can get 5 likes in the first 5 minutes. I believe in you. I was sleeping on what is called a shiki buton. It's a Japanese style mat. I have been sleeping on that mainly for the last couple of years, actually. In fact, I spent a whole year without sleeping on a traditional mattress. It was a shiki buton on top of a tatami mat, which is like a straw mat. It's not very thick. It's right here, actually. Fun thing, though. This thing is great if you want to block audio behind you. I have a video in the works that you'll see it behind me while I talk, so there's not as much echo. I don't know if adding any of this stuff has decreased echo in this room. It's not. My setup isn't quite as specific, for lack of better words, as it was in my old apartment. You know, we got 1 minute left to get one more like. We need one more like. But yeah, now I'm actually like, you know, being a normal human being and sleeping on a mattress. You know, spent last night on it. Very nice. Took forever to get this duvet. I never had a duvet before either. This is all another exciting thing. First time with a duvet. 30 seconds for one more like. I really want to get 5 likes in 5 minutes. That'd be crazy. That'd be the Janjo goal. It's actually very comfortable. I never really felt like sleeping on a mattress. It's very flat. We're gonna miss the 5 likes. Oh, that's painful. We didn't hit 5 likes. But yeah, it's very comfy, actually. I mean, Japanese have been sleeping on it for centuries. I like it because one, it's simple. Like it doesn't take up a lot of space. You can move it around. You don't need anything really with it, and one like as enough cushion on it, but it's flat. It is. It's really good for your back, which is like kind of like the main reason why I got it. And so I had something that I didn't want to deal with, like a box spring and all that. I don't have a box spring with this bed. I have a platform style bed. Someone took a like away? What the hell? Idiot. But yeah, I found it to be very comfortable. It wasn't particularly cheap, but I found it to be rather comforting, all things considered. But, there is kind of thing, it's kind of hard to get other people to want to sleep on it, or, there's definitely a stigma around not having a normal mattress, even though it's basically the same thing, really, just not as high up to the ground. It's a bit silly, but whatever. At least I got more of a... This is the first time I'm actually getting a mattress that I wanted, because the last one I had was a hand-me-down that I had for like 10 years. So this is the first time I like picked out everything, like the sheets, the bedding, the frame, everything. Yeah, I would not want to sleep on the floor. When I moved in my old apartment for the first couple days, I did sleep on the floor because cause my dad was with me. I let him sleep in the bed while I slept on the floor. I didn't have anything else to sleep on, which sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. A futon would be cool. A futon you would be able to, use as a couch, use as a bed, though. And that's essentially what a Shiki-Buton is a futon, just without, just a little bit nicer and not have any sort of frame around it. So you can't use it as a couch, per se. But you can get a nice, like, futon. You can get ones that, the only thing that's uncomfortable is when you sleep on it and you hit that, like, metal bar. But futons are cool, though. I mean, especially if you want the space. Like, my uncle, he has a, like a couch that turns into a... It's more of like a couch-looking thing than like a futon. Like a couch that turns into a bed in his living room. So whenever he has guests over, they can sleep in that because he just has a one-bedroom thing going on there. Yeah, sleep sofa. I never see anyone with those. They must have just like gone out of style or popularity, or I just never see them, I guess. Yo, Uros, oh, what's up? Hey, from Serbia. First 1 a.m. gym workout? Oh, goodness, 1 a.m.? I mean, hey, if you have the time to do it, might as well get it in. I usually do mine in the evening time. I love to get workouts in like the morning if I was a morning person, but I'm just not. I'm just not. I need my sleep. Even if I can wake up, I wouldn't even have the energy to go to the gym, to even get up to go to the gym. I think we'll get started when we hit 10 minutes in. That'll be our starting point for this list. Which, by the way, let me bring up my thingy thing. I have a like a pre-list of cards just to get some sort of thing going, like I did with the GOAT format video stream. Although, if it's anything like last week, this will be also pretty different from what we end up. All right, let's get started, shall we? So, Yugi-Kaiba format. What kind of cards do we want to would we want to add to it? I have some in mind. So Axe Raider is one I would like to add to it. Axe Raider, there's definitely a lot of cards that came out a little bit too late, and I feel like Axe Raider is definitely one of them. It's not overpowered. It has another 17 attacker, which I think would definitely increase, potentially adding like beatdown decks to this, to like Yugi-Kaiba format. Instead of just having Neo and what's the other one? Neo and Battle Locks. With Neo, you have a Spellcaster, then you have a Warrior and Battle Locks. It's a Beast Warrior, so you got a few different attributes going on there. What's the one? Sogen. You could even run like a Sogen deck, honestly, since you have a 17 attacker. Like you might see more use of cards like that. Is Force just the yeah, just Beast Warrior? Yeah, you probably see like more Sogen support, honestly, if we added Axe Raider to it. And it's a shame because I really love the art of Axe Raider. It was released in TP1, so it wasn't that long after YK. But it was after, you know, it was definitely after. But I think it would be a great addition to it. Definitely induct him on the first one for this. Speaking of Tournament Pack 1, these I definitely want to see in Tournament Pack in Yugi-Kaiba format too, and that would be the equip spells from TP1. So Gust Fan, Burning Spear, what was the other one? Steel Shell. I feel like I'm missing Elf's Light, because we got some of these. Can we get to 5 likes? We're getting a little close. Because we got some of these 400 boosts. Gaia Power. I'm gonna say no, only because we have to add like all the field spells, and I kind of feel like that takes away from a lot of the fun that the original field spells do with just the 200 boost. Because we have some of the 400 beef cards already in it. We have, I believe, Invigoration and Sword of Dark Destruction, which is Earth and Dark. And it's kind of a shame that these were released after, because they would make for some fun strategies. Not that you necessarily see people playing them. Hey, what's up, Brandon Parker? I think they'd be real cool. Okay, I have thought about Dragon Seeker. I'm a little bit on the fence about Dragon Seeker, honestly. It's cool that it's a 1 tribute 2000, so it's not too powerful. You could set it, but it does destroy a dragon monster, which does make it useful. Yeah, what's up, Boris? I'm going to hold off on Salamandra, because that would kind of make Burning Spear redundant, right? But yeah, I think Dragon Seeker would be kind of fun. Like, as like a side deck option. Salamandra is like fire, right? Yeah. Yeah, that kind of make Burning Spear a little bit redundant. And it's a very big boost. I mean, potentially. But I do want to add some more cards that we could possibly make use of this. Just keep them a little bit more fair. I mean, possibly Salamandra. I don't know. We can keep it on deck for the moment. We'll keep that in mind. Yeah, there's a lot of cards. It's not just like adding cards that, because we don't want to change the meta too much. I think that's kind of like a key thing, but I definitely want to make it a little bit more variety. You know what I mean? Patrol Robo. During your standby phase, you can look at one face-down card that's been set by your opponent. Field. I mean, it's interesting, I guess, but I don't know. Like, we have Stern Mystic, which is kind of like a better version in some ways. Let's see here. Oh, this is another one I actually want. Mystical Sand. Because we have Ancient Elf and Giant Soldier Stone, and having something that with 2100 attack is nice. But you know, yeah, I'll let Petrol Robo. What's up, Tripper Tasker? What about TP1 Fusion Monster like Goddess with the third eye? Potentially. My worry would be that it would change kind of how like janky the fusion decks are a bit much. I mean, part of the fun in like YK is just how kind of bad they are. Even though we want to improve them, but would that be kind of adding too much? Hey, what's up, Ramsky? I don't think I want to add the field spells because it would kind of make these a little pointless. Plus, we already have like field spells in the game that add enough spice to the format, like Umi with the 600 attackers. But speaking of that, though, there are some cards I think would be nice to benefit from like an Umi deck. And one of them I think is High Tide Gyojin. Having a monster that not only... Because we have Great White, which goes to 1800. If we have one with a 50 more attack, that would make that deck very spicy. Having something that has at least 50 over. Potentially, we'd see more use of like defenders and stuff in decks. But I think this would definitely like really help out the Umi beatdown deck. Oh, I can't. Yeah, I can't add the recruiters. Those are way too much. It's like adding Sangan. It's like, we still want to keep in the spirit of Yugi-Kaiba format. I think is important to keep. Not make it feel too different. Like, this is the first format in Yu-Gi-Oh, right? Like, we don't want to add quick play spells or continuous spells or counter traps, that kind of stuff. Like, we want to keep this as, like, kosher as we can. Black Skull. Also, what's up, Yugi? Well, Goddess a Whim. I mean, I suppose that's what TP1. I mean, pretty much most things TP1. I mean, it's not necessarily great, so I guess we can add it in. Because it only doubles during the turn, so you're not getting like super high attack if you get it right. Negate attack. Well, we have Waboku, which is a similar function. Where you like protects all your monsters. Although, graceful charity, no. I do think, speaking of McDonald's packs, so Cosmo Queen and Millennium Shield, I think would be really fun. Because now you have a spellcaster that is stronger than Dark Magician that you could theoretically do like some sort of Yami thing. And I don't think it would really affect anything. And Millennium Shield would kind of be a neat addition to stall decks instead of just relying more on like Gyakuten Umagami. Ryuroku. Ryuroku's interesting, isn't it? Targets 2 monsters, half tackle 1, and then adds another until the end of the turn. This would be very interesting in the format, for sure. Yeah, I kind of like it. Because you can also use like your own monster too, to like take away his attack, if you need to. potentially. Shield and sword. That could be really interesting. So Windstorm of Atakwa. I kind of thought about this. Yeah, we hit 5 likes. Exciting. I kind of thought about Windstorm. I think a better card would be Zero Gravity, because it's a bit more, like, not one-sided, and you kind of have to play a little more around it, too. Whereas Windstorm only affects your opponent. I think this is a little bit more fair. Like, they're both face-up monsters. One is one side, the other one isn't, right? Like, Zero Gravity is a little bit more fair in that regard. This is another card I was thinking of. Is a Seiryu. Because Seiryu adds a second dragon that is over 2,000. It's a dragon that can beat over defenders in this format, where you only really have blue eyes, and it can also crash with Summon Skull. So I think Seiryu is actually like a really cool pick for like a dragon. I've thought of other ones like Hyozanryu, Mikazuka no Yaiba, and like Riran, but I think, and those are good for like defensive purposes, but I think Seiryu is probably the best for what a dragon deck wants to do. Instead of playing Curse of Dragon, you could potentially run this instead. Like there is Trihorn Dragon, I suppose. Yeah, I guess Trihorn Dragon does exist. Yeah, maybe we'll put Seiryu on deck. Now I'm thinking about, I'm like, wait, yeah, we do have Trihorn Dragon. Watt-tailed Dragon. That is a 1 tribute. 2,500. Although, I kind of feel like most decks would... I mean, we probably see more like Soul Control decks with this thing. And would that be an issue? It's introducing another 2,500 attack monster. I mean, it's not as good as Skull, just purely based off defense. And it is weak to... I mean, not necessarily if people would play these cards, but things that would be interesting picks. Like, you could potentially see Zero Gravity, especially in, like, stall decks. Just, honestly, you can see from both sides, but it would be nice to just get rid of those and not include final attack orders in the format, because that would just kind of kill it. You could use it in Dragon decks. Yeah, Patrol Robo is kind of bad. Yeah, let's take out stuff that is just like kind of inherently like you probably would never see. I don't think we'd see Goddess of Whim, unfortunately. Yeah, Wattail's the dragon. I'm just thinking like, would other decks aside from Dragon kind of abuse this? Because we don't see like Judge Soul too often. Judge Soul usually uses 2 Judge Mans. I feel like there's something that's maybe not necessarily like there's got to be something more in the middle between that and I don't want to add any equip spells that are like stronger than these or more generic than what we have for the most part anyway. Like some other ones I was thinking of, like Riran potentially, because you can like block with it. Mikazuka no Yaiba, I think, is kind of interesting. What was the other one I was thinking of? Hyozan Ryu. This one's another like high defense, but decent enough attack. I just want to know what would really improve Dragon decks. Would be a big thing for me. And that's kind of like a tough part. Symbols of Duty. That might be a bit too complicated for the format. We want to keep this interesting. I don't want to do Stamping Destruction. One card I would though add would be Night Beam, because this at least adds some sort of generic back row destruction that the format really desperately needs. And it only affects set cards. And the only thing you can't be like responded to, so they can't like chain like Waboku or something, which would be kind of nice. And it's better than just like a generic MST, because I don't want to include card types that weren't introduced yet, aka Quick Spell, or rituals for that matter. I don't want to add like rituals to the format, even though it would be kind of fun. I want to keep it like still in the spirit of Yugi-Kaiba. Dimension Hole. What is Dimension Hole? I don't want to deal with like banished stuff too much. Well, we have Arm Ninja Trap Master, D-Spell, Remove Trap. But I think, like, I don't know, when I play it, it feels like we need at least something that's more playable, not like so bricky. Like, and that's just more just like a card game thing, right? What's up, Weird Caswell and Lou Noel? Lou Noel. You've been chatting a little bit. Sorry, just looking more of just like text than the names lately. Like, yeah, there's one thing to say about the format. That's why I don't add too much, but I think Night Beam is just like, it's the most fair thing we can add to the format without busting anything. Especially if we're adding so much more cards to it. Like, we kind of need something. Like, it's not going to affect any face-up cards. Skelential, though, that is one I would definitely add. It is the one flip effect monster from, like, the premier set of flip effect monsters that the TCG didn't get. And it'll be nice to add just something that lets you essentially replace itself. It draws a card, 1-for-1. Time Seal? I don't want to mess with Time Seal. Well, yeah, it would be 3 in every deck, but I mean, I feel like we got to give them something. Like, you would still have to be running stuff like D-Spell, probably not Arm Ninja, but like D-Spell if you're worried about Swords of Revealing Light, or Remove Trap if you want to get rid of Ultimate Offering. Like, there's a lot of stuff that this can't destroy field spells. It can't destroy equip cards. You know? I think Nomen of Extermination. I mean, that essentially does the same thing, except that both players banishes, like, the traps. And that feels kind of more powerful than Night Beam. In regards to Night Beam, only just cannot be activated to. I mean, I definitely don't want to add Cross out to this. Like, unless there's a card that's a little bit more reasonable. Like, what does Twister do? Like, I don't want to do... Like, that's, like, more generic than Night Beam. Not, again, Night Beam, it has to be said. I think we saw this... we saw this be used in speed duels pretty good. Like, yeah, it would change the meta a bit, but... like, these cards are going to change the meta regardless to, like, some capacity. That's just, like, the truth of just adding more cards to a format. Vader of the Throne, a Parallel Twister. Send one other spell trap. You control your target one card. Well, that just targets a card on the field, though. I think that's kind of getting away from it a little bit. Let's see. No, I don't have... I don't know if I want to include flip effect monsters with, like, high defense. Goddess of Wind we have down here. Mechanical Chaser. Hell no. Hourglass of Courage. It's an older card. This card, normal flip summon. That would be kind of neat. God, Blade Knight. Oh, no. What's up, Halseer? Oh, Mystical Sand. Yeah, I definitely want that. Hourglass of Courage, this could be kind of neat. If you protect it for a turn, then it's doubled. There are some other fusion monsters, though, that I think would be really fun. One of them, which it's crazy that it's not, is Rabbit Horseman. Because we have the materials to make it. Like, not like people would play it, but, like, why isn't it in the format? Right? No, I don't add any, like, recursion cards. Those are too powerful. We have to think simply here. We have to think simple here. With Alligator Sword Dragon, we would still need Baby Dragon. That's adding a lot. Like, there are definitely some I want to add. Vermilion Sparrow. Because we just add this crappy card. What was some other ones I had on here on my list? Crimson Sunbird. Because the only one we need to add is Faithbird. Trachodon. No, not necessarily, but I think it'd be fun. I had, like, another one. Great Mammoth of Gold Fine. If we add Snake Hair. So all these we only need to add, like, one card with them. Brachioradius. Potentially. Like, these at least have, like, 15. Is Crawling Dragon number 2 in Yugi-Kaiba format? I don't remember. I'll look this up real quick. It is not. TP2. I don't want to crawl. I think that would be fine. Two-headed King Rex? Twin-headed. Two-headed. I think adding more, like, dinosaur stuff would also be really nice for this. And you actually mentioned this, which I do agree with. Fusion Weapon. I think this would be great for like any fusion strategy. I don't add Zumbira. Because if you have all these and you get like a beater, like yeah, fusion decks aren't necessarily good. But if we can at least like add stuff to make them a little bit better, I think Fusion Sage, I think this is kind of a necessity. Because we need to give fusion decks something to make them playable. And if that's like getting a card to get out polymerization, I say we give it to them. I think I'm missing like one other. Skullbird. This one's with Takuhi. Temple of Skulls. Yeah, we could have more boss monsters. Actually not related to boss monsters, but oh wait, this is another one I'd like to add. Warrior of Tradition, another TP2 card. Sonic Maid and Headhuntress. Zoa would be neat, but I don't know if I want to add Metal Morph to the meta, because I feel like we would need to add like Metal Zoa. Like this is Yugi-Kaiba feeling, right? A lot of mostly kind of shit vanillas, but at least the vanillas in this are in regards to fusion monsters, in which we are adding fusion support. Rose, Spectre. Yeah, why not? We just need Snake Yashi. Like, this is keeping in the spirit of YK, I think. Although going back to boss monsters, one I had, mine was Terror King Salmon. Because if you run, like, Yumi decks, you can use this card. It would beat over Summon Skull. But normally, as it is, it has 2400 attack, which is fine. You know? Like, it's pretty good, 2400. Empress Judge. I kind of want to stay away from the Metal Raiders fusions, because I don't want to make this just feel like Metal Raiders, you know? Just without some key cards. Like, a lot of these cards are just kind of OCG only, or a little bit later. Dice cards. Graceful and... I mean, yeah, Graceful and Skull could be kind of fun. Just making sure we're not adding any quick play. Yeah, that's a quick play, though. I can't add quick play cards. That's like my rule. I don't want to add any mechanics that were introduced after this. In that regard, would we want to even keep Skull Dice if we don't have Graceful Dice? Well, we don't need to worry about Witch or Standing Game because they don't exist in this format. I kind of don't want to add, like, only one of them. Stone Dragon? No, not like Stone Dragon. Metal Armored Bug. What about, Empress Mantis for, like... So this is kind of an idea. Empress Mantis, Killer Needle, and Insect Armor with Laser Cannon. Because we don't really have an insect deck. So if we have the strategy with, like, this kind of stuff, with, like, an equip-based strategy, we could give... It would be fine giving him 700 attack, and I'm choosing Killer Needle because then it'd get up to 1900 attack, which is strong. It's strong. And then Empress Mantis would get up to 2900. I think that's like... And then if you wanted to run something like Gust Fan, you could. Or a field spell. Pikiru, does that increase life points? I feel like maybe. Yeah, I don't know if I want to add the moss stuff though. Just like it's kind of just bad as is. Cybertech alligator. See, I'm just kind of iffy on adding more like 1 tribute 2500 attacks. I like Skull being kind of like the boss monster in a way. Because then if you're adding more, then you're just completely removing Judge Man as any use. Which, I mean, I suppose Empress Mantis and stuff like that kind of does that anyway, but at least then with Empress, it has more synergy with if we add, all the insect stuff. I was smart this time. I got like a full water bottle. Also, y'all want to see something cool? Amphibian Beast I consider, but I went with Terror King Salmon and basically the same thing. Like 2400 attack. Except this has much higher defense. This is a little bit more fair. Check this out. This is a make sure I'm getting off screen. Pharaoh's Servant ad print. I have it framed. It's not on my walls yet. It was in the walls of my old apartment, but that's kind of cool. I have other ones too, but this is just the one that's on top. I have ones for LOB, MRD, MRL, and PSV. So I have 4 of those. I think they're pretty dope. Now let's see. Here's another card. Would this be too much? 7 completed. It only works with machine monsters. I'm trying to think if there's any machine monsters that would break this. I don't think so. We do have Two-Headed King Rex. He is on here. Because the only thing with machines I was thinking of was actually Patrol Robo. And then this guy, Oni Tank T-34. Because in similar regards to Killer Needle, I don't want to add something that is already like pretty strong and would just be over the edge with this. But at least with Oni Tank, you can set it, and you can have you can add at least block from 1700 attackers. So I think that could be neat. Sengenjin. It doesn't really add anything to the game. I mean, we have Blue Eyes, we have Triorn Dragon, Begone Knave. Monster inflicts battle damage for players. That seems a bit too floodgatey. I don't know if I want to necessarily add floodgates. Reading ring. Also, we're at 8 likes. Can we get to 10 likes? No, there's other machine monsters in the format. But I don't throw any, good ones. We have Metal Dragon and Seal Ogre Grotto. There you go. We got 2. Bait Doll? Bait Doll might be a bit too complicated for the format. it's a trap card, negate it, destroy it. And most of the time they're going to be setting traps though, right? I don't know. Like there's a few times they'll bluff. And this just goes back to the deck. I feel like it's, I don't know, a bit more complicated than it needs to be. Straight land might be a bit much. Just considering how slow the format is, and like you can tribute over them. Don't want to do Concealing Light. We could even add like one more machine type, potentially. I just wouldn't know what exactly. So Sky Scout I actually did consider. Because just on the basis that I think it'd be nice to have one more 1800 attack monster in it. Yeah, it would make some of the 17s not as useful, but considering people are already like defaultly playing 6 of them, I think it gives you more variety if you want to do more like a pure beatdown deck, since we have another 1718. I do like Sky Scout. Machine King. You know, Machine King could work, considering there's really like not much options to use it with, aside from like a couple monsters. I mean, he gets 100 by himself. Yeah, I think Machine King would be fine for a machine boss monster. Yeah, we can call him Harpy's brother. That's all. It's all good. Fire Kraken, another one I was thinking about, because this does get an Yumi boost, as well as being a target for a better like fire target for Burning Spear. We don't really have good fire monsters in the format, unless you like want to do a couple of these fusion ones. And he's also like definitely an interesting inclusion in an Yumi beatdown deck. I don't want to do Salamandra. Well, I mean, we could. If we can think of like more like weak fire monsters to add, I mean, yeah, maybe. I think it'd be fine. I mean, we do have Burning. I don't want to make Burning Spear redundant, but I guess in that regard, Insect Armor kind of does in a way to Gust Fan. Although there are other wing monsters. Yeah, I think Salamandra's fine. Like, it'd be different if like this was for like Pyro monsters. I mean, maybe like you'd see like something with like Salamandra or 7 completed, or yeah, I guess since we're already adding some 700 boosts, why not? Flame Cerberus. Yeah, we could add Flame Cerberus. I was also thinking maybe like, what was it, Yamadron? Yeah, don't want to do that. It's a Flame Champion. I love Flame Champions look. But he's essentially just a worse Flame Cerberus. I don't want to add like Stimpack just because it's very generic. Shine Palace. Where are some good light monsters? I love Flame Champion's design. I really do. Also, yo, we hit 10 likes. Let's go. I don't know if like lights are really doing enough. We could add the dark fire soldiers. It's more general 1700. Yeah, I don't necessarily want to add one that like buffs like monsters that already have like a good card that's out, like Neo 1700. Cause it'd be different if we had like a dark one that that buffs, but like insect, fire, machine, like we're not, those aren't really going to be seen. Luminous soldier. It's essentially like a summon skull killer, though, isn't it? He might be pretty strong in this format. Or like a good like anti-skull tool. I do think though at this point you might need a little bit more like destruction cards. Honestly. Yeah, there's a but I don't think we need to worry about like a light counterpart though. I was thinking about ready for intercepting. So what's up, hobby? Seeing the chat lately. I need to keep in mind names with this, names with the what I'm trying to keep up with. Ready for intercepting. We saw this in speed duels and it was pretty good. Affects warrior and spellcasters. That could be like a neat interaction. Soul Taker. Well, it's good that it needs to be face up only, and they gain life points. Do you think Ready for Intercepting is too powerful? We'll add this. I think this is a decent enough monster removal. I was thinking like Offerings to the Doomed. We have to skip a draw phase. But I think that's a quick play, so I can't really add that. Is Ready for Intercepting too powerful? What are we thinking? Dark Blade. Well, we have an 1800 already with Sky Scout. I don't think we need to add another one. No, Offerings to the Doomed. Offerings was the one where you just destroy a monster, but you skip draw phase. Cestus of Dalga. Meh. Like, I don't think we can make every typing, like, really good, right? Or every type and attribute. I don't want to... see, I'm kind of iffy on tribute. Like, we potentially could. But I don't want to add more than one monster removal. And this at least has the benefit, has, like, kind of two downsides where it has to be face up. Yeah, I believe those have been translated. Yeah, Utopia and Diamond Direwolf. God, Legendary Ocean. I mean... it's essentially a better Yumi. I mean, you can't make use of, like, Fire Kraken with it, though. Which I think that was the kind of the fun of adding Fire Kraken. And also adding other of these anyway, so you didn't have to worry about, like, the tribute ones. especially like Terror King Salmon. Like, we would probably have to add an Amphibian Beast, and then Amphibian Beast would have the whole thing with defense. Yeah, I think it's more of a... This causes more issues than not. Straight flush. That would be kind of interesting. I don't know if we want to add like too much stuff. Like if they're already running like Night Beam and whatnot. Well, you can always ask for it in my Discord, I suppose, if you really wanted to. What's a blast? Amulet of Ambition. It's a normal monster. We have to keep it simple for this. Keep it simple. Piercing did not exist until PSV. It's a little bit later. I would want to add in this format. Here's another fire monster. No problem, Shadow Mist. Firewing Pegasus. It's a fire monster. What was the fire tribute we had? Cerberus. It's essentially a better Cerberus, right? 150 more attack. Well, I do like how this is a pyro, but not like that really matters. Mr. Volcano. Hate Mr. Volcano. Mr. Volcano would probably be, I mean, like the fairest of the bunch, wouldn't it? Because the kind of issue with these two is that they do have really high defense. And that could kind of be a problem with tribute monsters with like high attack. So I think it's a matter of which one of these would be like fair to the game. As honestly, it'd be either like one of these, I'm pretty sure. But if you're running like a fire deck, like you gotta throw them a bone, right? Yeah, Volcano sucks. Fire with Pegasus is cool. Murmur of the Forest. Target one face-up monster your opponent controls. Nah, that's a bit too much. Now, I did think about Monster Eye for fusion support. Because then you can, like, recur poly. I have read the entire original Yu-Gi-Oh mangas, like Yu-Gi-Oh, Yu-Gi-Oh Duelist, Yu-Gi-Oh Millennium World. I have read that. And I have seen the Duel Monsters anime all the way through as well. And the GX first 2 seasons in full, and then maybe like a third of season 3. Yeah, I don't think Monster Eye breaks anything, but if you want some fusion support, it does lets you get back polymerization, so you essentially have even more copies of poly in addition to Fusion Sage. I feel like there's like something else that would be really nice for fusions to have. I'll get to. I want to finish 5Ds, but man, season 3 is. I haven't watched it in a few years. I still have the episode pinned that I'm on, but man, that's such a struggle. It's really not great. Like, I really enjoyed season 1. I believe I'm watching the dub, which like the dub is like it's funny because the dubbers kind of treat it as like an abridged series almost, but you know, it doesn't make it necessarily easier to watch. I think I should watch 5Ds subbed. Eventually, I'll need to watch GX sub too because the last season wasn't ever. Well, I don't know if I want to add like the fusion subs though. They feel a bit too generically good for this. Because I think the fun of like the fusion is that you have to run the like shitty stuff for them. Yeah, I'm sure one of these days I'll watch it. Like if I'm allowed to watch Yu-Gi-Oh on here, maybe I'll do like a watch along thing. That could be kind of fun. But then I don't want to get like my channel taken down. That'd be bad. No, I kind of want something that like helps get stuff from the deck, but nothing that's too OP. Like we're on the right track, I think. I watch along. Maybe that's more like a Twitch thing though than like YouTube. Not that I ever stream on Twitch. I have a Twitch. Barely on it. We're barely streaming on it. No, I added Fusion Recovery to the GOAT format one. I don't think recurring stuff is the problem. Because we have like Monster Eye and we have this like Get stuff. Because this has to get back something that was used as fusion material as opposed to something that was destroyed by some other thing. I don't know if I want to add like Monster Recovery. Zexal was the first to get all episodes. Which one was Zexal? I know the fifth one was Vrains. I added Chimera to the GOAT format. Kunai with chain. Kunai, I might be too powerful because it's essentially like a better reinforcement, but it's not like once per turn, or like it lasts longer. Yeah, Arc V. Well, Vrains V, both V. Can you blame me? I can't. They all sound like a bunch of schmaws. Kuna with chain. Zexal. Zexal was XZs. I can't keep this in track. I have like all my cards I use for my videos like organized in folders, roughly. And let me tell you, it's pain in the butt for me to like find cards. Now I'm like, wait, which era was it? Was it Vrains, Zexal? My huge like library of cards, pictures. DMGX, 5Ds, Zexal, Arc V, Vrains, Sevens, Go Rush. I think I can remember that. DM, GX, 5Ds, Zexal, Vrain, Arc V, Vrains. What was Sevens? Yeah, Sevens. Okay, yeah, I can remember that. What about this card? This card actually, for whatever reason, I thought was in Yugi-Kaiba for the longest time. We can stream a dub. I don't know, because like copyright's like a finicky thing. Like because they are YouTube doesn't mean that like the owners let them be on like any channel. Enchanted Javelin, I think could be kind of interesting. It's like Waboku. Like, it doesn't stop the attack, but it gains you attack. I don't know if this would be an issue with stall decks. Not per se. Yeah, because I remember DMGX 5Ds. I remember that easily. And then I think from 5 to the end of the alphabet is Zexal. It's like Z. And then 5 is not 5Ds, but Arc V, because 5. That was like the whole reason for that, I think. And then... Shit, what was the other one? Vrains, because that's not Arc V. And then... Sevens, that's 7. That... Drain Shield, you think that would have been an issue? I don't know if we need, like, mass removal stuff in this. Yeah, because at least Enchanted Javelin doesn't negate anything. I mean, we could add the mass removal cards. Because we have... Let's load them up on deck. That... Acid Rain... Last Day of Witch... Desert Drought, right? Drought, Eternal Drought. Yo, Triple Tasker, what's up? Darkness Approaches, you got it. With the $2. Bam. Eradicating Aerosol. Exile of the Wicked. You know, I have all of these in a binder. I have like a page for all these. Even Breath of Light. This one cost me a lot of money. Face down attack position. They have yet to actually print the errata, which is even more hilarious. So actually, no. Well, with the recent 25th anniversary, wouldn't it have been like officially errated printing? Yeah, but it's also, I mean, would this be adding like too much cards, like take up too much of our stock, though? Do I know the deal with Dream Sprite? Oh, that it's not like censored at all? Is that what you mean? They brought Darkness Approaches into Rush Duels. Yeah, they actually eroded it quite a while ago. Like, those on the website only. My only worry about the type removals is that if we add them, that's like a lot of cards we're using. If I look up Eternal Drought. Is there a... Oh, we forgot one. Y'all forgot one. Warrior Elimination. Stray Lambs. No, I don't think we need any tribute support past like Soul Exchange. Like, this is a lot of cards we're adding on here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, it's kind of weird there's not any for dragons. Twin Head Behemoth. I think for dragons, I still want to add like something else that would be good for dragons. I don't really want to add Wattail. Is there any good like one tribute monsters? With these cards, well, I don't think we need like Dragon Hate. Yeah, I'm just gonna put these here for now. And we could add them. But I feel like we only see like 2 of them get played. What do you think about this card? We already have Dragon Capture Jar in the format. What do you think about Shadow Spell? Targets a monster, they lose 700 attack, and it cannot attack or change its battle position. Is this too power creepy? $12 likes. Going up to 15 for this stream. Yeah, because the thing only we have like stopping, like this Night Beam only stops face down stuff. We do not have Spellbinding. That might be better actually. Because it doesn't reduce, it just kind of stops, which doesn't necessarily... Yeah, it's decent enough for like a stalling tool. I agree with the chat. 14 likes, almost at 15. Yeah. Let's see. What was another card I was looking at on my handy dandy list? Well, thank you, Zol, for EX. Thank you, 16 likes. Let's go. I don't remember what the last one did like really good for like full like likes and watches. What do you think about Mitch's Zuri? Yeah, I don't want to add Extermination. I think with just this one, this is like enough to still keep Dispel and Remove Trap useful. Oh no. Don't dislike the stream. I mean, engagement is engagement either way. YouTube doesn't really care. Monsters from the field to your grave. Even during the damage step, target one monster on the field, destroy it. Yeah, so you could crash and then get rid of another monster. That is pretty powerful. Yeah, probably not. I was kind of against hiding dislikes on videos, like when they first announced it, because it's definitely like a big corporate move, like basically because it was what was the video that got like a ton of dislikes? Was it that like YouTube Rewind or something, or like a trailer for something? But now I'm kind of fine with it because I think it helps people's morales a little bit better when watching a video. But if you're trying to find like a tutorial on something, then it's like an issue. But then the plugins exist, so it's like whatever. The whole thing is silly. Dragon's Bead. It was like optional for like a little bit, I think, before they made it like permanent. I could be wrong. I know like the YouTube Rewind with Will Smith was like a big one, where it was like there were creators, but it was all celebrities, like Hollywood celebrities. But what would you really be using this for? Well, Trapple doesn't target, does it? It does. Yeah, they're not legal. Jose Ortega, unless you're playing a European Yugi-Kaiba in which Acid Trap Hole was legal in that region. Because Acid Trap Hole was actually like released before other things. I have a whole video on the European region. It feels like a lot to protect from a trap hole. Especially if like your option's usually going to be revolving around summoning with what's its face? Lord of D. I did consider Acid Trap Hole, though. I don't think Metamorph would be good for the game, per se. But this would be nice just to take care of those, like, stall decks. Like, it's definitely, like, more of a side deck card than anything, which I think would be nice for the game. We got through like most of my list. One other card I was thinking about. Let's see what you think about. What do you think about Smashing Ground? Is this too powerful? Well, because people have like messed around with Acid Trap Hole in the format, and pretty much it's like mainly just like a side deck card, but it's a good side deck against stall decks, and I hate stall decks. Because the thing with, like, this is that a lot of monsters in the format tend to have low defense. But, yeah, I guess with Fissure around, we don't really want to see that either, huh? Oh, yeah, thank you, Shadow Mist. I've been trying to keep up the weekly stream as much as I can, and it's kind of cool seeing people join the streams. I feel like every week since I started, I'm surprised people show up. But these have been fun, though. Since I started this last week, it's been really fun. I don't know what other formats I would do past GOAT and Yugi-Kaiba for this kind of thing. These are like my two bread and butter formats and the ones that are kind of most interesting to like add stuff to. Yeah, we already had Soul Takers. I figured I'd just mention it. I think that's like everything on my list, I think. Like I made beforehand. I think Blackline Fire Dragon was one I considered. But we already added. Like we could add him. Like we did add. Actually, no, because those are dinosaurs. Yeah, I think he would be like a nice addition for dragons. For like low-level dragons. Because we don't really have any good low-level dragons, and that's might be the best we have. For like early Yu-Gi-Oh. I'm still trying to figure out what we need, like a good tribute dragon, and I don't like these are the only ones I could come up with. But I don't want one that getting close to 20 likes now. I don't want Wattail feels a bit too powerful, and these seem a little redundant unless you wanted something for defensive purposes. Luster Dragon number 2. You know, yeah, I could see that. That's not bad. I don't want to do Paradragon because Luster Dragon seems pretty legit. Although it is kind of weird not. Well, technically when it came out it was just Luster Dragon, so I guess in that regard it would have been just Luster Dragon. You know, the OCG it's like Emerald Dragon or something. Paradragon's like I think really fun, but the issue is 2000 attack makes it the same as Curse of Dragon, and for that matter doesn't beat over 2K defenders, which is like a big issue in Yugi-Kaiba format. Which is why I would want to add something with at least 2100 attack. But Lesser Dragon number 2 is a good pick. I would agree on that. I legit think that's like all I had on my like pre-made list. I'm a little bit shocked. Okay, no, I got 2 other cards. What do you think about these? Eat Gaboon and House of Adhesive Tape. These both essentially are like 2 sides of the same coin. Where Dragon Dueling in the Cave, I don't want to add more defenders. I think there's way too many in the format, or like there's enough in the format. These essentially destroy specific monsters if they have very low attack or attack or defense, which is good for like flip effect stuff potentially. For whatever reason, for like a long time, I thought this was a continuous trap. Yo, Logan Glenn, what's up? Also, Elusive Mirror. I don't think I said what's up to you. I think these would be kind of neat. Because they only work like on summon. On like normal summon. But I don't know how useful they would necessarily be. It might be. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. I would like to stream like some of the Yu-Gi-Oh games too, like Eternal Duel of Soul. Miniaturize? Is that a card? Is that not shrink? Oh. Oh, this is I think I saw this in like recently. Yeah, I don't want to do with like level manipulation. Gate Deeg? Gate Deeg's nuts. Gate Deeg. As much as I would want to add all these like OCG normies, it's kind of hard for me too. This is Yugi-Kaiba format. Also, what's up, Shiny Dino? Yugi-Kaiba format. LOB isn't technically a format, but it's Yugi-Kaiba format. I thought the stream title would be more interesting if it was like the first format, which I mean. In terms of a list, it is. Anyway. Yo, King of the Skull Servants, what's up? Welcome to the stream. We have such a variety of people in the stream. I'm very excited. For those who want to add a card to the list, make sure to give me a super chat for the opportunity. We already have Darkness Approaches, which was a super chat card. Yeah, dragons probably dragons and dinosaurs. I think kind of need something. Like we did give dragons Luster Dragon, which is a good buff, and we did have a little bit more. Although we do have Komori Dragon, so I don't know if we necessarily need Blackland Fire Dragon. Rope of Life. That's an interesting card. You can discard your entire hand, then you special summon against 800 attack. I think that attack buff might be a bit much, because it is permanent thing. I mean, discarding your hand does suck, but... eh. Do we want to add a revival card? Morphing Jar 2. I don't want to add, like, completely, like, blitzing cards. Do we want to add, like, a revival card? What about, like, Swing of Memories? It has to be a normal monster, which a good chunk of monsters are going to be normal monsters. And it's only there for the end of the turn. This might break, like... This might make tribute decks too powerful, potentially. If you can just, like, constantly bring itself back. Or that could create, like, a whole new style of deck. Also, 99, like, total views. That's very exciting. Shallow Grave. Well, we don't want to add anything that's, like, great, you know. Silent Doom. So I think the main thing is, like, would it make tributes too strong if we had too many, like, revival cards? Like, Silent Doom could potentially work. So you can't attack, and someone's in defense position. But I think Swing of Memories is nice because then you can use it as, like... You can't use it as stall, right? Like, I could see stall decks using this. Yeah, like, you probably might be breaking a lot with stuff. I'd just be aware with this, with the use of this in stall decks. Spirit Caller. It's kind of a neat card. Special summon one level 3 or lower normal monster from your grave to your side of the field. Despair from the Dark. I ain't about to add that. Spirit Caller could be kind of neat. Are there any, like, abusable level 3 normal monsters? I mean, what's, Yeah, that'd just be, like, be stall stuff. I'll add Swing of Memories, and if anyone wants to, like, have any suggestions for if they can think of something better, let me know. But I think Swing of Memories is, like, fair enough. What's some dinosaur stuff we could add? Yeah, let's add King of the Skull Servants. How about Cyber Dinosaur? Never getting that effect off. Also, isn't that weird that I searched up dinosaur and that is the only monster that shows up? Isn't that really weird? Like, that's the only card that shows up. That is odd. Black Stego. Eh. I mean, it's just another like defender. I don't think we need that. What about what was it? Black Terra. It doesn't feel very Yugi-Kaiba. Triangle Power. I don't think we can really make good use of that. What was it? There was a card I was thinking of. Completely lost it. I'm sure it'll come back. Evolution Pills. What about Restructure Revolution? Inflict 200 points of damage to your opponent's life points for each card in your hand. This could be nice for, like, burn decks. This was, like, a Duelist League promo, I believe. Well, burn decks I feel like is kind of an up and coming deck. because we're starting to see a little bit. We're starting to see people understand the strategy a little better in terms of how it works in YK. To essentially just do a ton of damage and then inflict some burn damage like at the end, like inflict a lot of like normal battle damage and stuff. I don't want to do Regenerating Mummy. I'll add this card. Like, yeah, Burn is already having a struggle, more or less. Ultra Evolution could be kind of neat. I don't want to add Mass Orbeez on the basis that I don't want to add any piercing monsters to the game. What are, like, reptile monsters in the format? Yeah, do reptiles even... do they even exist? Let me check. Drooling Lizard. That is the only one we have. We do not have Armored Lizard. So what if we add like this? We added Armored Lizard. And then... so we have two lizards. Armored Lizard and Drooling Lizard. What's the other one I'm thinking of that's like a recolor of Armored Lizard? You know what I'm thinking of? Though I don't think it's a lizard type, though. Or a reptile type. Lizard's not a type, dummy. Lesser dragon, that's what I'm thinking of. Yeah, that's not a reptile. Toon alligator. Nah, don't want. Oh, I mean, toon alligator isn't technically a toon. So I think he'd be kind of fun. He's not a toon monster. But what would it make use with Ultra Evolution, though? Like, what's a good dinosaur? Mega Zowler. That's description, dummy. No, as fun as that would be, or was it Shield Arm of Dragon? What's the other one I'm thinking of? Sword Arm of Dragon. Yeah, no. Much fun. We need some, like, solid, strong dinosaur, like, just like a generic boss monster. And I feel like if we're using this strategy, we actually want something that's like really good. So let me look up cards. Let's see. A normal dinosaur. Black Tyrannogagagigigu. Okay, why is this giving me like... Come on, format library. Give me some results here. It's not giving me any results for normal dinosaurs. What the heck? That's not very useful. Oh well, let's just search up here. Monster, dinosaur, normal. Anthrosaurus. This man, like dinosaurs, got a high IQ, even though he's lacking in the strength department. Kind of like you, as if you had a high IQ. Yeah. Yeah, it's tuned by name only. He's not like he's not a toon monster because it'd be in his flavor box, his text box. Yeah, there's really not much to choose from, is there? That's a little I don't do Frostosaurus because that's too strong. That's a little surprising. You think there'd be like one up there in like the 25 to 3K range? That's a dinosaur. Maybe we just have to search for like effect. At least 7. Yeah, this is kind of shocking. It's like I don't want to add like any of these either. Let's just spread out to 5. Yeah, I don't want to like introduce Peterson because that didn't exist by this point. This is honestly surprising. It's not more like generic stuff. Well, the problem with Sword Arm of Dragon and Mega Zowler is that they just don't have good stats. Like they're trash. 20-30 defense. Like they're weaker than like you can normal summon like monsters with the same attack. Maybe not 1750, but we have 18. And at that point, it's like you'd rather just run anything else. This is weird. This is it feels like there should be something obvious, but there's not. Like in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh, there's not just like a general high attack. Vanilla dinosaur? No, we're not gonna add any of that. For one, we can't add quick play spells because they don't exist yet. And we did add Night Beam for like a spell trap. Yeah, like I was kind of thinking Jurassic World, but yeah, that's kind of. I mean, if we did, we'd have to really go into the whole like brachial radius thing. But again, that defeats the whole point of like even using Ultra Evolution Pill. Like the best one would be like Mega Zowler, but I feel kind of iffy with that. Like even with, let's say, Jurassic World. You know, like yeah, it's 100 more than something like Wasteland would do, which I suppose isn't too bad with like Armored Lizard, but this is only at 2100. It's like why not just run Summon Skull? This feels depressing almost, right? Dark Door, the game's already slow enough. I don't want to do Light Intervention. Summon our illusions. Maybe? Tributes one other monster. Special summon extra deck and destroys end of turn. It's kind of bad. Like maybe in the right game so you can punch with something for a turn, be still you like it's pretty fair. I mean, it has to be flipped. It's for one turn. You have to tribute another monster on your field. Yeah, I mean, there's... Yeah, it's all like Ultimate Conductor. Yeah, or some sort of like True King Dino build or something. It's basically one of those. Again, it's really surprising. I mean, even like Dino Wrestler is just an engine. And there's like the Fossil Warriors, but those don't really count. Even like the Drac stuff, that's Pyro, right? Or I think Drac's dinosaur. Yeah. But they're not meta. They just look really cool. Invitation to a dark sleep. I almost want to like make a card that's just a good generic dinosaur. When this monster is summoned, select one of your opponent's monsters on face field cannot. I mean, that would be fine. I mean, it definitely seems like a elusive mirror. There's really not much like generic strong vanilla ones to pick from. This card kind of sucks too. Like, it looks cool, but like even Cyber Dinosaur is not a dinosaur. Which I guess makes sense. It's Cyber. I just wish there was like a good dinosaur monster we could use. I know, Warrior Spellcaster. Well, hey, now they're getting Illusionist, so. I mean, maybe we just, like, pick a Drac. Like, could we just, like, maybe Drac Tyrannus? Like, we don't necessarily need to add other archetype stuff in it. But at least this, you can make use of other dinosaur monsters. Like, its starting stats is Summon Skull level. And it needs to tribute stuff. This might be the best one we got. Because then we can, like, just special summon it. Like, its attack, like, its effect isn't too crazy. I know it's a little bit... It's not super duper, like, Yugi-Kaiba-y, but... we don't really have any other options. Like, Black Tyranno... That seems too strong if you can just attack directly. But at least this guy, it needs to, like, tribute or attack over stuff. Ultimate Tyranno. Yeah. Yeah. There's Superconductor. Just regular Ultimate Tyranno. Where is regular Ultimate Tyranno? I mean, that is very strong. What do y'all think about Ultimate Tyranno? Is he too busted for this? I mean, the thing is, like, if you're like a 2 tribute that like monster, you might just like run him normally just to have him, right? Just because of that effect. Whereas, like, Drac Tyrannus, his, like, big boost, you need to tribute dinosaur monsters. And then, but otherwise, you could just be running Summon Skull because it's less bricky. Like, this might be more, like, for, like, the dinosaur deck. Yeah, but like you could. I mean, I don't know. Like, yeah, you can only attack with it. But yeah, it really does just murder decks. I mean, it's not really good, like, battle traps in the format. Protect against it. And they only have so many resources. I'm just saying maybe we need something that's like specifically for this strategy. It must attack first. Yeah, it's the only monster that can attack. So, like, also we're at 19 likes. Wow. Huh. Close to 20. I don't know, because, like, my main thing is that I could see decks that aren't dinosaur run this. And that would be, like, a thing about it. Does Ultimate Conductor... Yeah, how does that effect work if he's in defense mode? I mean, he can't attack in defense. Maybe this is, like, just asking too much for this strategy. I just feel like it feels too strong for a Yugi-Kaiba format. Whereas I just think Dirac Tyrannus does, it feels, you know, still like really good, but more fair and in tune to like Yugi-Kaiba. This thing, like, it still just has like the one attack, but it can get like high attack, but it doesn't necessarily like outrank a Blue Eyes or a Summon Skull, which is what I personally like about it. Like, am I wrong here? Am I wrong here? Oh, hell yeah, we got 20 likes. Let's go. Like, what are y'all... Oh, oops. Don't do that. What are y'all thinking about this? We can either drag Dino or Ultimate Tyranno. I could do a poll. I feel like I know what you're all gonna say. I feel like I'm trying. I'm personally more into Dirac Tyrannus. All right, polls up. Have at it, kids. It's amazing just how dark it gets all of a sudden. I just when I start, it's always the light, like it's light out. Tomorrow's Friday. That's pretty fun. Yeah, that's the issue. Is like we don't really have a good pick. Like the best otherwise we have would be like Mega Zowler. Like are there good just generic dinosaur stuff? We have raised body heat. I don't do Lost World. Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like, what do we just stick with Mega Zowler? That's what I'm thinking. Shiny Dino. It might be impossible to do like in a way that we would want. Like I would just love if there was a 2700 vanilla dinosaur monster with that's not Frostosaurus. Like at least if there was like I would even add a like if there was a field but like Jurassic World that upped dinosaurs by like 500. You know, not adding in something like Gaia Power. Like Lost World is too strong. Like we could even add Fossil Dig. Like I know I added to goat format, but that feels too strong as well. Just to get a dragon or a like, even if it's just like a dinosaur. Like the reason for adding a dinosaur is because we can make use of Ultra Evolution Pill, which I do think would be really fun in the format to run kind of weaker reptile monsters to get out something bigger. Like we might just need to do like all 5 of these cards. Which I think is what we're doing. Ending the poll here. So we had Jirac in the league, but I think Megazowler might we might just have to bite the bullet and say like it's Yugi-Kaiba format. At least with we can have Jurassic World. At least 300 will boost these cards up. Like at least Toon Alligator, good defender, Armored Lizard. Well, actually no, that one no because they're reptiles. But dinosaur types. Okay, let's say you still have twin-headed King Rex, two-headed King Rex, which has 1600 attack. So that's a good boost. Crawling Dragon will get a good boost. So I think that's fair. Did we not add another dragon? I don't think so. But still. I think, isn't Alligator Sword Warrior? No, he's Beast. He's not even Beast Warrior. That's interesting. So at least you could run, like, Jurassic World would help dinosaurs be, like, really strong in their own right. And then you can, like, run something like this if you wanted to. I think that's fair. Yeah, he should either be Beast Warrior or Reptile, but certainly even like Warrior. Beast seems like the really weird one. So I'm just gonna get. I feel like we're just gonna get rid of these. Now we still have the side deck we can like add cards to, so we're not done yet. So what else do we want to like think would be fun to add or just to like buff up? And remember, super chats, you can add stuff to the list. Alligator sword should be a rock or machine. Yeah, alligator's sword dragon. Yeah, baby dragon's so big, isn't he? Compared to alligator sword. Or alligator sword's really little. But that's just a baby dragon. What was, Skelgon stuff? Oh, that's why I added Black Land Fire Dragon. That's why I added that. So we have snake hair. And then we have another dragon, if you want to do, like, more dragon. That's what I was getting confused with earlier. So that's a dinosaur. So, there you go. We buff Beast Warriors. What would we add to Beast Warriors? Garoozis. Sungenjin. Tiger Axe. What's up, Maddie? My audio's low? Does it sound... how's it sound now? That was closer to me. It should be good. I mean, my levels seem where I want it. Not sure about that buzzing sound. Is anyone else hearing this like a buzzing sound? Not sure about that buzzing sound. Is anyone else hearing this like a buzzing sound? I feel like I hear what you're talking about. I feel like I hear what you're talking about. What if I turn this down? What if I turn this down? Alright, does it sound a little bit better now? I kind of hear what you're talking about. Alright, does it sound a little bit better now? I kind of hear what you're talking about. A little bit more. How about now? Is it sounding better? A little bit more. Am I sounding a bit? Let's see. Can I keep going in and out? Let's see. Add the gain to this. All right. Is it sound? Let's raise that. Sound any bit better? Any bit better on the end? You guys' end. Wolf Axe Wielder. The buzz? Wolf Axe Wielder could be kind of interesting. Seems to come back. Seems to come back. I mean, I hear like a light thing, but it doesn't seem to be like off and on. I mean, I hear like a light thing, but it doesn't seem to be like off and on. I want to know what that noise is coming from, though. Yeah, we can add Wolf Axe Wheel. I don't think it harms anything. I'm liking that a lot, that we have options for fusions that are stronger than 2000. I think that's like a good buff. So far, the list is looking pretty good. Again, I don't want to make it too, like, Metal Raidery. Like, still keeping the theme of, like, Yugi-Kaiba format. At some point, I like to do a video on the video games. And I wouldn't mind streaming them. I mean, that'd be a great way for me to get footage for them. I mean, probably sooner than later. Honestly, I'll be streaming them because I need ideas to stream, basically. Lightning Blade. I think Warriors might be too strong. With an 800 attack plus Waterloo's 500. That feels a bit strong. I definitely want to stream games. I don't know if I want to stream like something like Forbidden Memories. What's up, Sentai Bandicoot? Maybe. That fixing. That fix anything? That fixing. I don't hear anything. That fix anything? I might have fixed it. I don't hear anything. Might have been like tight. Might have fixed it. I think it sounds better. Might have been like tight. Hey, thanks, Santa. I love your videos too. If you make videos, I'm sure I would like them. I appreciate it. It's almost at 25 likes. But yeah, I don't know if I want to stream something like Forbidden Memories, because I don't think I even want to play that game, because it's such a insane game. Phoenix, I don't want to add Phoenix Blade. But maybe like Dark Duel Stories, I think would be fun, because that's the first Yu-Gi-Oh game I played. Yeah, that seems a bit too kind of wacky to backy. Up. I mean, I would love to add the Metal Morph stuff, but I don't want to add Metal Morph. Well, I tell you, don't make videos. It sucks up too much energy. I haven't been able to like do too much stuff lately. I mean, I have been pushing stuff back, but that's also because the OCG Series 3 video is taking me such a long time, and it's going to take me so long to even just get past pre-production. I'm like 25 pages in. It's insane. This thing's it's gonna be such a long video, so long. Sacred Cards, yeah, Sacred Cards. I would want to do something in order potentially. Like the video games in order, maybe just the handheld video games, or at least like maybe like the early ones. You know, Dark Duel Stories, Sacred Cards, Eternal Duelist Soul, maybe one of the World Championship ones. Maybe Reshef if I like Sacred Cards. I love Eternal Duelist Soul. That's the one that has always stuck with me. I remember playing Sacred Cards, and like I think I borrowed it from a friend. There's some other ones I would like to play too. Some of the GX era stuff. I heard the Spirit Caller is decent. There's another GX or what was it? What's the DS one I'm thinking of? Burden of the Mighty. Nah, seems too iffy. Nightmare Troublador. That one I want to play too. Potentially some of the World Championship ones. Yeah. Spirit Caller and Troublador I'd like to play. Anything that would be fair for Burn or Stall. We probably should give Stall some love. I just hate Stall decks. We did give Burn Restructure Revolution, which, I mean, it's not great, but it's something. Yeah, no, this has been really fun. This is better than I was anticipating. The last stream was GOAT, and that went really well. And this is, I don't know if I do like another one afterwards, just because I can't think of a format that I could see changing to like such a degree. I mean, maybe critter format or because anything after DM era, even though I like a lot of the formats, I can't. Like the card pool's so big, I can't think of anything that would like affect like too much or like enough cards. That'd basically be my only issue with something like that. If I did like Edison or Perfect Circle format, so you probably have to stick with DM era formats and like those. When we get kind of like in the middle ones, it's a bit harder to like pick from that. Yeah, I mean, anything that's Go format would be great. I mean, I think the DS games just look really fun with like the graphics and everything. Yeah, Edison, like I won't even know where to start. I like Edison, but I only got into it when I was making my history video for that. I never played it beforehand. Like I was coming into that completely blind and fresh from a fresh perspective. Dark Magician or Red Eyes. I won't even know what to add to make those. I mean, we could add like Black Dragon's chick. Because then it give you some reason to run Red Eyes if you just special summon a Red Eyes. There you go. Dark Magician, I don't know, because I feel like a lot of the cards to support him we added in GOAT format. Yeah, it's impossible to keep track of all the card pool. Like, unless you play the format so often, like someone like E3 Yu-Gi-Oh, I'm sure he would know everything about that. As opposed to me, I'm way more of a DM era focused person. Like, I wouldn't mind expanding to covering more formats more frequently, but this kind of is my bread and butter. And I still have plenty of ideas, especially as I branch out to more OCG topics, which I still have plenty of stuff in that I want to cover. Is that really all I have on my Excel sheet? I think so, which is a little surprising on my end. We're able to add most of those. A tier format? Ugh. Now, we could always do something where we just take a format and completely flip it on its head. That could be fun. That could be an idea. Be like, let's take the meta in, I don't know, Yada format and just completely add bonkers cards to make it overpowered and ridiculous. Like, what if GOAT format had Zodiacs? I mean, yeah, you can't add Xyz monsters, but you know what I mean? Something silly. That could be an idea. Like, what if we broke GOAT format? Like, we started to get to that at the end when I added Goddess of Sweet Revenge. That could be funny. I don't know how much of an idea it is past just an idea, but who am I to say? Maybe I'll do a poll or something. 24 likes, almost at 25. Maybe something like feature archetypes we could add in a previous one. Maybe it's hard though, because a lot of feature archetypes, when they started doing more archetypal stuff, is extra deck mechanics. I mean, the closest thing we would have otherwise would be Gladiator Beasts. If Yada format didn't have Yada Garasu, it would essentially just be Android format. I mean, that was really like the big card. I mean, the only other cards would be Mirage of Nightmare, Ring of Destruction, Reckless Greed, like Pharaonic Guardian stuff. Have you seen that RJB name guy on Duel Academy format? RJB 0. I can't. Nope, I can't say I've heard of that name. I mean, I don't want to make like a new format per se in regards to like these lists. This is just more of like, more of a fun thing. The RJB 0. Yeah, I don't think I've seen this channel. Let's watch up Patrick. Just a heads up, if you play Nightmare Troubadour, I'd recommend the EU version. NA has a glitch where you can no longer dual Pegasus after a certain point in the game. Interesting. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. If I remember that, I'll play the EU version. I mean, I love to dual Pegasus. Yeah, like, I don't even know what Dark Magician support we would add, because like most of the good stuff we added to GOAT format. I mean, we could honestly put in Dark Magic Attack. Because there's nothing quite like that in the game, but otherwise, why would you run Dark Magician, you know? Like, it gives you, like, the one reason to run Dark Magician. What do you think about Dark Magic Attack? I mean, it doesn't make Dark Magician any easier to summon out. Thunder, Nyan, probably not. We could add Dark Magician Girl. Like, what do you think about Dark Magic Attack and Dark Magician Girl? The Dark Magician Girl, it's a card that I still don't necessarily see it would see play. But it wouldn't really do anything to the format. I mean, you'd have to have DM in the graveyard to get some attack boost. Like, it's more or less would be here just to exist. And we could even add... I don't want to do Crit. That seems too strong. Like, we could do like Sage's Stone, even like Magic Formula. We could have like this package here. Potentially Magna Warriors. Cold Wave, that feels a bit too strong. At least with Magic Formula, it's still kind of bricky. Like, it only works with 2 monsters to get like a solid attack boost. Yeah, that's true. But it does but the other thing with Sage of Stone, it does give purpose to running Dark Magician Girl. So you can get like a 1 tribute out and then what do the rest of you think about something like this? Is it too non-Yugi-Kaiba, or because it would make an interesting like spellcaster strategy, and it wouldn't break the game. Like, we could add Thousand Eyes instead of Dark Magic Attack. I don't think I want to add Mystic Box or Magical Hats. Any thoughts in regards to like Dark Magician stuff? Grave Robber, I think, is a really interesting card. I think that one, honestly, people should test out more. But I kind of want to figure out what this Dark Magician situation is. Like, we could just remove Sage's Stone and keep something like this, like these 4 cards. Well, the thing with Yugi-Kaiba, like, the only special summoning from deck we have is Last Will. That I can think of. And I don't think we've necessarily added anything. Like, we've added a couple things that add from deck to hand. I think mainly just Fusion Sage. Magician's Circle. I think we added... Okay, we added this to GOAT format. I don't want to necessarily add stuff from GOAT form that we added to the GOAT format just to keep it somewhat in our own timeline. Like, I think we've seen, like, in GOAT format, it could be decent. I think it might be too powerful because most people are running spellcaster monsters. Okay, well, what about this then? So let's say Dark Magician Girl, Magic Formula, Thousand Eyes, and Dark Magic Attack. It still makes these cards kind of bricky, but at least you can summon Dark Magician Girl and make use of Magic Formula a little bit more. So it's kind of like 2 and 2. Diffusion Wave Motion. Probably not. Yeah, seems a bit too much. Magnet Warriors would be kind of interesting. Stat-wise, they're decent enough for Yugi-Kaiba format. Let's drop them here for a second. Because then we would probably have to add Valkyrion. Magician Valkyrie would be fun, but I don't want to add... I don't want to add too many effect monsters because the thing about Yugi-Kaiba, it is a lot of vanillas. In that regard, Valkyrion might be a bit too non-Yugi-Kaiba. Because then you can tribute these guys from your hand or field, and I think that's too strong. Would we even want to keep these guys if we don't have Valkyrion? I mean, it is another 1700 attacker. We do have an 18 defender, 17 defenders. Like, defense-wise, they're not bad. And you could even run, like, an Earth deck. The King's Trio. Jack, King. Queen's Knight. It's kind of hard to see my keyboard because my microphone's like right in front of my face. So is that buzzing any better? It's kind of hard to see my key. Yeah, I think that buzzing fixed it. I'm kind of annoyed now that was like kind of going on. So you have a monster with low stats, a 1 tribute. I mean, that seems not terrible. I mean, they don't... Because the thing is, you do get special summon this guy out, but it is only 1900 attack. And otherwise, what do they do? Because you have to use your normal summon anyway to get this guy out. So you're essentially running like a really... It's kind of a really bad strategy, right? Dark Renewal. I almost... Oh, yeah, yeah. No, yeah, that's very strong. I actually ran this card in my Dark Magician deck a few years back. I feel like these cards just might be just too bad for the format, honestly. So you have to get this weak 1500 attack monster out, and then get this guy out to get this guy out. I'm gonna say no on these. I don't think they really add anything to the metagame. Are there any zombie cards? What about Pyramid of Wonder? That might be too strong. Also, we can't do that because it's a continuous spell. They don't exist by this point. Well, unfortunately, I'm not the king of games. I am just Daddy Janjo. The hard-boiled duelist. Let's see. Zombie cards. What's something like decent zombie? Because like the only thing we really have is like dragon zombie, and yeah, we have snake hair. So we could do like a great man with a gold fine thing, but fusions aside, even like Skelgon, but Skelgon sucks. Armored zombie would be neat. On the basis you can get it off with Last Will. Yeah, we can't do rituals. I think rituals would be really fun in this format, for sure, but yeah. Yeah, why not Armored Zombie? And then Master Kianchi. Yeah, he kind of ruins all the 1700. I mean, he would be the only one with 1750, but it does kind of get rid of the point of running some of these 1700s, especially Axe Raider. Like that was the whole point of adding him in. I don't want to do Pumpkin because that Pumpkin feels too Metal Raiders, too critter format. What other normal reptiles? I'm kind of iffy about just Toon Alligator. Just because it is like Toon Alligator. Maybe we add Super Ancient Lizard Warrior instead. What do y'all think? Because then with this guy with a boost, he is 1700. I'm kind of feeling take him out, add him. I know it's another Metal Raiders card, but no one runs in Metal Raiders critter format. The thing with OCG is that it kind of opens the floodgates to just adding anyone. Like, we did add stuff that was previously, I mean, for a long time, OCG only. A lot of these fusions and some of these cards, like Temple of Skulls and Snake Yashi, which I think might still be OCG, but... Even something like Gale Dogra. Like, Gale Dogra doesn't do anything. Yeah, he has Stone Armadillo. Much weaker. Rock Monster. Which is a weird, I guess, Stone Armadillo. I don't think we can fill up the fusion deck, unfortunately. But that's okay. This guy's flavor text too. This stone critter's got rock hard fur. That gives him some really good defense. Gotta love those cards. I like to get like all the Joey flavor text cards from Joey's World. That'd be a fun page. However many cards that is. What else do we want to add? I just want to fill up the side deck area because that's just more of this. What about Chimera? No. So I'm saying no. Just because we added them in goat format. Gift of the Mystical Elf. Gift of the Mystical Elf. I just worry that stall decks would abuse it. Like maybe we want to add something to stall decks, but I don't know. I really don't like stall decks like in early formats because it's just boring. Ooh, what about Shard Agreed? Well, stall decks kind of evolved to like burn or deck out decks, deck destruction. What about Shard Agreed? No, wait. Never mind. We can't add that. We can't add a continuous spell. What am I talking about? Meteor of Destruction. If your opponent's life points are higher than 3,000, inflict 1,000 damage. See, I don't want to do Jarvi. Meteor could work. Because you can't use it late game. It would be something for burn decks to, like, at least help get them towards. I mean, Exodia is installed, but like no one runs Exodia in this format. Like you wouldn't really see it till Critter format, the following one. And I don't even know what you would run for that. Alright, would Backup Soldier be too strong? I don't want to do a Magic Cylinder. And this is like all on the basis that all these cards are unlimited, by the way. Like, I don't even want to worry about limited spots. So, like, Magic Cylinder, that one would have to be limited. That's a whole can of worms. This would really increase, like, speed of games without drawing cards. And you have to, like, wait till, like, later game to use it. Would this be... This might be too strong. Because if your opponent uses it, or whoever gets to it first, all of a sudden has 3 extra cards. Would that be too good? You think? What are we thinking about Backup Soldier? Well, like, everything is vanilla. I mean, you can't bring back the head of Exodia. But basically, you wouldn't necessarily be using this in Exodia decks per se either. Because you could use this, like, pretty much every deck is most decks are made up of a high amount of vanillas. Like there's a couple of flip monsters, Maneater, Bug, but generally it would increase like the ratio of using cards like fusions more. And you have to have like cards in the graveyard. And they're not. It can't even be 15, and it can't. You can't even bring back stuff like Lodge. It has to be weak monsters, and that Stall would be able to make use of that too. So we'll throw them a bone. Bite Shoes. Change the attack position of one face of monster on the field. I mean we have stop defense. Think of a counter card destruction protecting Zodia. None that I can really think of. Like there's monster reincarnation, but I don't really want to add that. Yeah, Bite Shoes is really bad. Like, would we want to add monster reincarnation? I think of Crimson Ninja. I'm essentially just Trap Master, right? Let me set that here. Destroys a trap. Destroys a trap. Yeah, aren't they the same card? I mean, it'd be kind of fun to have Crimson Ninja just to run like a Crimson Ninja and Masked Ninja. Except Trap Master has better defense. Yeah, we already have Trap Master. But he's usually like the de facto way of getting rid of traps. Would reincarnation fit in this format? You do have to discard a card, so you are going -2. So what's going -2 to bring back? What does that mean? That means you can kind of get rid of a kind of a shit hand to get back something a little bit more useful. And it's only monsters. It's probably fine. Probably fine. And next we're going to add Gaga Cowboy, right? So, I don't think I said what's up, but what's up, Origin 0? No, I'm a little late, but I feel like I'm late on everyone. Did we look up Dream Sprite? When attacked by your opponent's monster, select one of your another one of your monster cards. I feel like it doesn't really do anything. Because it just, like, it redirects it, but okay. Is Hidden Armory too strong? Send a top card of your deck to your graveyard. Add a one equip spell from deck to hand, but you cannot normal summon. This would be a good way to get to like buff equip decks. And you can't even normal summon. Is this too non-Yugi-Kaiba-y, though? Like, we've been pretty minimal with searching stuff out. I mean, depending on like how you make your deck. may be able to like spare a turn of a normal summon, especially if you're running something like Ultimate Offering to get to, at least have some like more field presence. I mean, alternatively, maybe like Iron Blacksmith Kotetsu. What about Kotetsu? I know someone like a while ago kind of mentioned him. Like, you really don't see him much in GOAT format, which is kind of unfortunate. Maybe one day. So we're getting low on spots, so if anyone wants a super chat to get a free card suggestion. Yeah, because at least Kotetsu is like you need to be running equip spells to make use of it. And I don't see everyone running Kotetsu. Banner of Courage, I saw someone say. Yeah, we kind of need something to make equip spells a little bit better. Banner of Courage. I don't know if I want any like blanketing buffs like that. And we can't add continuous spells. This is true. No continuous spells, no quick play spells, no counter traps, no piercing, no rituals. A lot we can't do in early Yu-Gi-Oh! I can't believe we added Mega Zowler of all cards. Wild. Let's add Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. No. I wouldn't mind Black Skull Dragon, but that's like the cover card of Metal Raiders. Like I can't do that. No, I don't want to add the fusion subs. I like the spirit of running shit fusions. But I do have cards to like kind of help out, recur things in case they're in the graveyard. Yeah, well, it's essentially we want to keep stuff that was released, like, we want to keep like the spirit of the format, like the time it was. So we don't want to like start changing it too much with other types of play style. I don't want to do Sea Snake because I only wanted to add one 1800, and Sky Scout is the fun one, and it wouldn't make. And if Sea Snake would also buff like Yumi decks a ton, and I don't really want to do that per se. Sky Scout / Harpy's brother is probably the best choice for that. Kind of same thing with like Axe Raider. I don't want to add too many 17s, but we also added these guys, but that's also mainly because of fire decks. We did add Meteor Dragon and Meteor Black Dragon to the GOAT list, and that's also another thing that I don't want to take picks from. And also that kind of, it's probably too strong. I do like. I mean, maybe we should have like a strong fusion monster, but I also like how Blue Eyes is the strongest monster in this format. So we can't look up like normal fusions. Not that that's necessarily a thing. We're not going to start adding Aqua Dragon to this. It is certainly a neat idea. And I'm trying a little bit. We did get them Fusion Weapon, which is a very strong equip card for, like, all of these fusions. We got Fusion Sage, which is, like, probably the only searching tool in, like, the whole format. I'm not even counting additional, like, equip cards. And then Monster, I can recurse stuff, too. Let's see. Anything else we might want to add? So 26 likes. Skull Mare. Yeah, Skull Mare is weird. It's a warrior card. It should be like Aqua or Zombie. For whatever reason. It actually saw kind of play like last year. No joke. 5-headed dragon, maybe? No, we added that to Yugi-Kaiba. Or Go format, excuse me. Yeah. Potentially do like humanoid worm drake. If we add like the two. Because that would give us another reptile target and a defender. I think Red Eye's Darkness is too effect heavy. I hate these like 3 fusion ones. I don't do First of the Dragons. It feels too another very Ooh, we could add Kaiser Dragon though. We just need to add Fairy Dragon. Do we add this guy? I don't know if I want to waste spaces on like more stuff like that. But he might be like the last like weird one though. Let's just see it for a quick second. So Fairy Dragon and then Lord of the Lamp. What's this Lord of the Lamp from? Is that Metal Raiders? Or was it like a tournament pack thing? I think it's TP1. I get TP1 vibes. No Hobby League. Okay. Invaders, like the basic insect thing. More shitty vanillas for shitty fusions. But that's the fun though, adding all these like OCG fusions. What do we want to give like the big finale? Unless anyone can think of some general thing that we're forgetting. Perhaps like a boost to something or other. I had a decent amount of other support cards. What to add though? I know like Bracket Raiders we added to Goat, but we might as well add it here too. Like there's gonna be like some ones that like cross over a little bit, but I think that's fine. It probably would make sense to like have done Yugi-Kaiba first and then like make our way around. Yeah, that kind of sucks, doesn't it? Polymerization. I mean, I've done like, I feel like I've talked about a ton on the channel. Just how dumb Poly is. Or just how Konami kind of / Upper Deck flopped the fusion mechanic. I feel like there's just something else it would be nice to add for fusions. Yeah, there is some. I think Restructor Revolution was one. I think a lot of the type elimination cards or like Hobby League stuff too. Like Breath of Light, Warrior Elimination, Last Day of Witch, like that kind of stuff. I think those were all like Hobby League stuff. I do plan on making a video about Hobby League and stuff. I was actually starting to work on it, but then it was just kind of taking a long time, and I decided to end up doing the... So when I started working on Edison format, maybe. Or maybe like Light Sworn format. I think it was Light Sworn format. I jumped on afterwards. Green Kappa. I think we kind of need like some big finale to this. What would that be? I do not know. We have Machine King here. He is on here. Do not worry. I'm gonna put this here, put that there. I'm just reorganizing this a little bit. It's when all the... This is for my OCD. So I have all the effect monsters up here, and all the traps here. Yeah, no, they're not. Like, there are some Hobby League stuff that are worth money. Although, they're not... It depends on some, like, the rare ones. Like, Breath of Light's worth kind of more, but a lot of the Ultra Parallel rares aren't necessarily rare, only because people rather have the not so heavily foiled cards because they tend to degrade quicker. Like they tend to like warp quicker than the non like parallel rares. You know, they look kind of cool. I have a Asura Priest like Hobby League, but there is something kind of gimmicky about them, which I get. But I mean, yeah, like you had to get them at like OTS stores, I'm pretty sure. Or like just like tournaments. Like they're not quite tournament packs, but you know. What is the last card we want to add? That's just the thing of the day, eh? Like, do we need something that like needs more support? I think we cover like most of like the big bases. Like we can't get like every single type of support, but I mean we even did stuff for insects. We figure out something for dinosaurs and dragons. So yeah, being sacked with the Crush card. That must have been at least 2006, because that's when Crush card was released. And that was as a prize card. Yeah, I know some people are like kind of iffy about like some foil stuff being like technically different. Ancient lamp. That might be a bit much. I feel like we're kind of probably done with effect monsters. I like the one row of it, and this has such a long effect. I like the idea behind it, though. But the special summoning an 1800 attack monster is probably a bit too strong. Yeah, so sometime in 2008. Yeah, because at that point, it would have had the gold release. We only added one field spell. It's kind of interesting. No, Verdant Sanctuary, that's not a field spell. Everyone thinks it's a field. No, I think Brain Control would probably be too strong. Because we already have Change of Heart. A double spell? Nah, that's too much. What's the magic Tripcaster Mystic Mine? Well, we did in the last one with Goddess of Sweet Revenge. Mystic Mine, there you go. I got you. Super Chats can take away other Super Chat picks, by the way. I'm just saying. Mystic Mine in Yugi-Kaiba format. If your opponent controls more cards than you do, your opponent cannot activate monster effects or declare an attack. If you control more monsters than your opponent does, you cannot activate monster effects or declare an attack. Once per turn during the end phase, if both players control the same number of monsters, destroy this card. Why did they print this card? Like, I think it's fine in like modern formats at one copy in regards to deck check your opponent. So it's not all just like one specific thing. This is why you saw more people play cards like Cosmic Cyclone and Twin Twisters and. But hey, we do have Arm Ninja and D-Spell in the format. You cannot use Night Beam on it because it would be. Although, okay, consider this though. Consider this. In this format, you cannot have more than one field spell up at a time. So you can destroy this just by activating like Jurassic World. You would have to be running like a field spell to do that, but this is mine with access code talker. I got you. Sorry, Tripper. Shiny Dino got you with access code talker. I mean, we can't summon it. I mean, let's say links existed, and this is the one link card that existed. They could set Mystic Mine. You could Mystic Mine into Mystic Mine. There's a lot of stuff you could do. So this one, your opponent can't respond to this. Not like they would. They can't really channel they can't really channel Boku to access code talker. You know what I mean? And you can't really target other Link monsters. Doesn't really gain Link ratings. You can't really banish anything. So you can't really use any of its effects. Well, unless you like summon more access code talkers. And like use those. But boy, that's a lot of setup in Yugi-Kaiba format for access code talker, right? Anyone want to overpower this? Red Ice Dark Dragoon. Scary. I mean, you could summon it. Yeah, we don't even have like the extra deck. I mean, it would have to be like you would have to just summon it in your main monster zone. Like you would have Red Eyes Dark Magician in this format. Oof. No link zones and you. Well, there's no extra monster zone. This is kind of a meme pick. But I feel like I have to add Giant Flea. I actually kind of don't want to add Giant Flea, not gonna lie. Like I know it's like kind of a meme in the Yugi-Kaiba community. But I mean both cards are currently legal if that's what you're asking. Um the thing with Giant Flea is the reason why I picked Killer Needle. Because that would make insect armor very strong with this thing. But maybe in an insect deck, it's okay. But I feel like Giant Flea, like that's like the meme card. That we have to include Giant Flea, right? And I think that's our Yugi-Kaiba expanded. Do we? It's unfortunate we can't add even more fusion cards aside from Axis Go Talker. But unfortunately, all the other ones are like 3 requirements, and we already added so much crappy. Yeah, and you can use Backup Soldier with Giant Flea and Killer Needle. Like, Insects is something no one ever talks about in Yugi-Kaiba because there's no playable cards. Like, insect cards. I think it's a pretty good list. It definitely feels different than Goat, but still has a vibe. Like, there are some cards that are still kind of iffy. Just I think the high amount of effect monsters is a little sus. But it does improve the game state. Nonetheless. Like, the reptile deck, I think, would be really interesting. Or like the reptile dinosaur deck. I mean, yeah, it's not like super. Like, reptiles aren't really good. But then you got Jurassic World to get strong dinosaurs out there, too. And then you can run, like, multiple copies of Mega Zowler. You could also run, like, Soul Exchange with it, too. And this with Lost World is over 2100, or it is 2100. You can take out access code. Okay. Other things we did, we increased machine monsters by adding more than 2, because originally it was just Metal Dragon and Steel Ogre. So we added this guy, which 7 completed works both ways with him, honestly. And we also added what's the other machine monster we added? We added Machine King, Boss Monster, and Patrol Robo. Which even that with 7 completed isn't too bad. We added a few like utility stuff. I mean, if you want to run a Red Eyes, you're gonna have to run that. Fusion got support. We gave it Fusion Weapon. Card to bring back Poly from the grave, should you want to do that. Fusion Stage, even just search out Polymerization. Now, you still have the issue of getting your pieces. But I don't think it could really work around that without adding Fusion subcards. Which would, you know, like we would save a lot of room, but then you wouldn't be able, then there'd be no reason to add Raimundos of the Red Sword. He looks like he should be a fire type, right? Fire warrior. I mean, he has a sword of Crimson Flames. It's like a Salamandra. Salamandra and Burning Spear. I mean, we could even take out Burning Spear, but I don't want to take it out just because I feel like we're adding all the other ones. And this you could technically equip to opponents' monsters that are in defense. If they have a fire. You can also use it on Fire Kraken, potentially. And we gave more fire support, Dark Fire Soldiers, and Firewing Pegasus. We gave Stall some support. We gave the Millennium Shield. You can also run cards like Backup Soldier, because they don't care about their high attack. Or you also get more defensive cards, too. Just more defensive cards in general. I feel like Battle Traps would have been nice to add. McDonald's format. McDonald's wouldn't be legal until Imperial format, so Pharaoh's Servant. But we did add Millennium Shield, and we added Cosmo Queen. But no, that's TP1. Do we add any other McDonald's cards? I don't think so. I don't think we did. I mean, the only issues with running like a battle trap like a Saku or Widespread Ruin is that it does kind of take the fun of using reinforcements away, or reinforcements in Waboku. Like, we are technically running Soulbinding Circle, which kind of acts like you could use. Doesn't destroy anything, but at least you can gain attack or do more. You get more interesting things out of it, situations, than just monster destruction. Because otherwise, I think it would be kind of cool to add a battle trap, but then yeah, you wouldn't be running like reinforcements ever, which would be bad. We gave Umi some support. High Tide Gyojin and Terra King Salmon. And I feel like we gave it something else. Yeah, Kunai Chain essentially is just better reinforcements, which I'd be iffy to do. I thought we had another water card. Maybe I was just mistaken. Let's see. He gave Zombie some support. I mean, not really much, but I mean, Armored Zombie, I guess, is something. And Snake Hair. He probably would be running some sort of zombie fusion deck with Gold Fine and the other one, Skelgon. Slot Machine? No, I don't think so. I mean, 2,000 attacks, like, I guess you give it something else that's useful. I mean, it kind of is more of a defensive tool anyway, but 2 tributes is kind of crap. I might as well run Machine King. Although, ideally, if this was like Yugi-Kaiba more so. I mean, yeah, he does fit with like 7 completed, but maybe not Pendulum Machine. Yeah, I don't know. What are some other Bandit Keith monsters? Takraminos. Sea Serpent. If it was Reptile, I would definitely replace like him with it. But Sea Serpent doesn't really get anything. I mean, it's water. That's about it. But we already have a pretty good water monster, honestly. This is like kind of an anti-dark card. Which may be a bit strong, honestly. Launcher Spider. Another 2 tribute. I think I get like 1 tribute machines. Five to 6. Or does it need it? Wait, doesn't it need to be like. That's attack. What am I doing? Dummy. There we go. Ancient Tool. Gatekeeper. Another McDonald's card. That guy's pretty cool looking. Problem with band keys that they're all really just low attack. I mean, honestly, the best one would be still Ogre Grotto, but Shape Snatch. The man, the myth, the legend. This guy was like 100 points weaker. I probably would add him. Mech Bass. Like a Launcher Spider and stuff would be cool. But that's asking a lot in Yugi-Kaiba format. Just any 2 tribute monsters. Like, you need something with 2 tributes. Like, that's at least why we're giving Dark Magician Dark Magic Attack and 1,000 Knives to use. Plus, synergy with Dark Magician Girl. Great Bill. There you go, Great Bill. Not a machine, though. Even Cosmo Queen, it's like there's really no reason to have it here. It is pretty derpy. Ground Attacker Bugroth. That's a machine. Them's a machine. And maybe we should add another machine. Because what? It's just Oni Tank. Machine King. I thought we added another one. Yeah, Patrol Robo. Maybe we take out a Dark Fire. I don't want to like ruin like the fire deck though. Maybe we take out Cosmo Queen. I really don't see a reason to actually run Cosmo Queen. At least this, you can at least add it in like a machine deck. Is there even like a good field spell for machines? Not Umi. Is this really it? I feel like there's... Is this really it? Yeah, especially with Dark Magician, like, actually having support in this format. I mean, there's, like, Machine Conversion Factory, but that's an equip. So what the hell is that? Barrel Rock. He is unstoppable. Better watch out. That is very bizarre. Like, that card already exists in the format. It is where there's not just, like, a generic machine field spell, right? Doesn't that feel really weird? Is it just me? Because we're kind of just stuck with, like, this 7 completed and Invigoration. But I think that's probably fine. I mean, in terms of machine boss monsters, I would... You know, in Spirit of Yugi-Kaiba, I probably would prefer a vanilla machine, but like it's either pendulum machine or this, and this is just way more fair and better. Yeah, like we can't add limiter removal, nor do I think we should. Like, it's too bad Slot Machine it wasn't just 6 stars. It really should have been, right? Like, if Launcher Spider was 6 stars, like yeah, I'd play that. Do we think Luminous Soldier is too powerful as well? Break draw. Equip to only a machine monster. Equip monster as point monster battles into the graveyard. Draw 1 card. Maybe. I don't know. Feels too effecty. I mean, maybe we do add Slot Machine. Or Launcher Spider. One or the other. Yeah, I can see that. But then, like, why not Launcher Spider? I mean, he seems fair enough to be a level 6. But it is early Yu-Gi-Oh, so I get it. I get it. I'd rather have Launcher Spider than Slot Machine in this format. I kind of want to take out Luminous Soldier. I really love his design, but he seems probably a little bit too powerful. Because he just stomps, like, everything dark. But then he doesn't, like, stop anything else, though. And we did add... I mean, most stuff on this list isn't even dark, though, to be fair. What do we cut room to make space for Launcher Spider? And if so, what? Like, do we just take out Burning Spear? Or do we want to go all in a fire equipped deck? Because I think that'd be pretty fun to go all in on a fire equipped deck. I don't know if you want to take out Patrol Robo either. Like, I don't think people would even be running Launcher Spider. I think this is fine. I think this is probably fine. So at least, like, Mega Zowler is a 1 tribute monster. Yeah, like, we really don't have much for fire, except for... I mean, we have Firewing Pegasus, Fire Kraken, which also is Umi support, and 2 Dark Fire Soldiers. In addition to, like, 2 equip spells. Do you think you found how to buff machines? Iron Draw. We're only running 2. We only have 2 machine effect monsters. Special summoning doesn't... It feels like it's too modern, like, in the regards to, like, having a special summon drawback and once per turn and stuff. Robotic Knight. I mean, like, we have exactly 2, but You know, Robotic Knight, we could take out a Dark Fire Soldier and add him instead, because then he works for both. Yeah, because then he works for both for fire and machines as well. I kind of like that. Launcher Spider, Fire 2. Yo. Fire machines. That sounds pretty dope, doesn't it? What do we cut for Launcher Spider? Because now I'm like... Fire machines, though. What other fire machines do we have? Let's see. Not much. Not much for fire machines. Gadget Soldier, possibly. No, I don't have Battle Footballer. That outclasses so many defenders. I mean, we could have, like, take out, like, Machine King and Luminous for Gadget and Spider. Yeah, 2100. It's ridiculous high. Ridiculously high. I feel bad for cutting Machine King, though. Maybe we cut Luminous Soldier for Launcher Spider or Gadget. Like Gadget Soldier, it's not great, but it doesn't have absolutely terrible stats. It's kind of like Megami, but Fire Machine. So you could set it, protect yourself from Trap Hole. And then if you want to like attack with it, you can always attack with 1800, or you can use an equip spell. Yeah, we're gonna at least add Gadget Soldier. It's just hard for me to see like you wanting to summon Launcher Spider. So I think like Gadget Soldier might be the best alternative option we have. So you still have Machine King if you want another like one tribute. So you're not clogging up with like any two tributes, because unless like no one wants to run any two tributes in Yugi-Kaiba format unless you're doing some way to special summon them out, in which we don't really have that option for these guys. Like the only other things we have aside from like dragons is dinosaur. I believe, because we took out Sage's Stone, so we're not using that. It's basically just like those two options, really. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 machines with, I'm not going to count Kotetsu. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fire monsters. Though I don't know if you necessarily be. I mean, you can still run Firewing Pegasus. You could do like 1, 1, and 1. Which is fair. This looks pretty good. I mean, you would also run Kotetsu as well to get your equips. That could be a very fearsome deck. Courage probably not going to run. This is more of a side deck card. This is only for Dark Magicians. Only for Red Eyes. Probably never going to see these two cards. Skull Angel. You'll probably see Skull Angel in decks, I would imagine. I mean, you may not even be wanting to run Patrol Robo or like Ground Attacker. It may just be like, I mean, maybe. I don't know, depends how much emphasis on like Oni Tank you would want to have for defensive purposes over Ground Attacker. But yeah. All right. Well, this is the list. I am framing it now, and yeah. Thank you all who's been joining me today. It's been a very fun 3 hours 20 minutes, way longer. I'll have to like gauge what the next stream is going to be. Not exactly sure what it is. Maybe we'll finally jump into games. Maybe we will do like a crazy like goat format, obliterated or something like that. I mean, that could be kind of fun. This is definitely fun. I love Yugi-Kaiba format. It's definitely probably one of my favorite format. Yeah, and hopefully next time we'll continue the fun, continue growing the channel. I'm enjoying how each stream seems to be more and more, at least for these theory videos. And if anyone has any ideas for streams, like don't feel free to like let me know, like anywhere, Discord, YouTube, whatever. All right, with that said, have a wonderful rest of your night or day or wherever side of the world you are on. And with that, I bid you adieu.